Imagine this, a dark night on a deserted rural road. Suddenly, two of the most lethal hunters in the cinematic universe come face to face. On one side, the technologically advanced predator, with its alien arsenal and code of honor. On the other, the ancient and mysterious creeper, with its insatiable hunger for human body parts and seemingly unquestionable immortality. Who would survive this confrontation? The next few minutes will reveal details you never imagined about these creatures, and the answer might surprise even the most dedicated fans. The question isn't just who would win, but what would happen when two perfect predators, each at the top of their own food chain, clash in a battle where only one can survive. Would it be alien technology versus supernatural power? Intergalactic hunter versus demonic entity? What's your take? Let us know in the comments who you think would emerge victorious even before you finish this video. The true nature of the hunters? Before we dive into this epic confrontation, we need to truly understand who these beings are. The predator, or Yautja, as their species is known, isn't just a technologically advanced alien hunter. It's the result of millions of years of evolution on a planet with higher gravity and a denser atmosphere than Earth, developing a physiology that combines reptilian, arthropod, and mammalian elements. Meanwhile, the creeper represents something even more enigmatic. The most accepted theories suggest it's a fallen angel, one of Lucifer's followers who, during the Celestial War, didn't fall into hell like its companions, but onto Earth. This divine error would explain its hatred for humanity and its pleasure in desecrating sacred symbols, like using an old church as its lair. What few people know is that both share something fascinating: specific activity cycles. The predator hunts during seasons defined by its culture, while the creeper awakens for exactly 23 days every 23 years. Coincidence? Or is there some cosmic connection between these cycles that we don't yet understand? Comparative anatomy. Beyond appearance. Physically, these creatures are evolutionary masterpieces from entirely different worlds. The predator has a bone structure 3 times denser than a human's, with reinforced joints that allow for falls from heights 10 times its own stature. Its muscular system is 4 times denser than a human's, allowing for enough strength to rip skulls out with the spinal cord in a single motion. To put it in perspective, a single predator could easily defeat a gorilla, which already has approximately 9 times the strength of a human. The predator's circulatory system is particularly fascinating. Its fluorescent green blood is copper-based, not iron like ours, and contains pluripotent stem cells in much higher concentrations than humans, allowing for accelerated wound regeneration. Even more impressively, it has between 2 and 5 hearts, depending on the subspecies. The creeper, on the other hand, presents an anatomy that defies any known biological classification. Its scaly skin has a texture similar to cured leather, but with extraordinary regenerative properties. Its membranous wings have a wingspan of approximately 5 meters, with an internal bone structure containing hollow cavities that reduce its weight. A detail few people notice. The creeper's claws aren't simple extensions of its fingers like in common predators. They are retractable structures composed of a crystalline material that doesn't exist in any terrestrial species. Fictional analyses reveal that this material can pierce even resistant metals. Internally, the creeper has a unique digestive system. It doesn't consume its victims for conventional nutrition, but for selective absorption of specific tissues. Its digestive tract contains specialized compartments that process different human organs, allowing it to incorporate the DNA and cellular properties of consumed organs into its own structure. A rarely discussed fact: the creeper's blood is dark green, with accelerated clotting properties that seal wounds almost instantly. Speculative analyses suggest it contains some type of organic nanostructure that facilitates cellular regeneration, preserving its functions during long periods of hibernation. The duel of sensory capabilities. In a battle between supreme predators, detecting the opponent is as crucial as the ability to attack them. And here, both creatures possess extraordinary abilities. The predator has natural infrared vision, allowing it to detect thermal signatures even without its famous helmet. Its dreadlocks aren't mere decorative appendages, they are highly specialized sensory organs that detect subtle changes in atmospheric pressure, air movement, sound vibrations, and electromagnetic fields. Each dreadlock can be individually adjusted, functioning as dozens of directional antennas. A fascinating detail: the length of the dreadlocks has biological significance. The longer they are, the more sensitive and capable of detecting environmental subtleties, making older predators naturally better hunters. The creeper, in turn, possesses a devastating sensory triad. Its third nostril functions as a specialized chemical sensor, detecting compounds released by the human body during states of extreme fear. Its yellowish eyes see in the infrared and possibly ultraviolet spectrum. Even more disturbing, there's evidence that it can literally see fear, visually detecting changes in the human energy aura. What few know is that the creeper's cloak isn't a simple accessory. Detailed observations show that it reacts to external stimuli, possibly functioning as an additional sensory organ that amplifies its ability to detect fear. When two beings with such sensory capabilities face each other, we are in for a battle where every movement, every breath, every heartbeat can be detected. It would be like two chess masters trying to anticipate each other, in a game where the slightest mistake means death. Arsenal and combat techniques. Here we have a fascinating contrast. Advanced alien technology versus supernatural organic weapons. The Predator uses an impressive technological arsenal: shoulder-mounted plasma caster, telescoping spears, disc blades, energized containment nets, and of course, retractable wrist blades. Its adaptive camouflage technology makes it virtually invisible. Additionally, it carries a nuclear-powered self-destruct device as a last resort. A rarely discussed aspect is that all these weapons are biomechanically synchronized with the Predator. They aren't just tools, they are extensions of its body, responding almost instantly to specific neural impulses, which makes their handling as natural as moving a limb. The Creeper, however, transforms its own body into a lethal arsenal. It can extract fragments of its own skeleton and mold them into razor-sharp throwing weapons. Specialized glands in its mouth produce a viscous substance that hardens quickly, functioning as extremely strong organic glue. From the tip of its tongue, it can fire small organic darts imbued with paralyzing neurotoxins. Even more impressive is its ability to use victims' body parts not only for regeneration, but as offensive extensions of its own body. In documented cases, the Creeper has incorporated organs from victims into its structure and adapted them for combat functions. A little-known feature: both the Creeper's truck and the Predator's ship function as extensions of their users. The truck has a symbiotic connection with the Creeper, with organic filaments connecting the steering wheel to its arms. The Predator's ship responds to specific biometric commands, making it practically inoperable for other species. Intelligence and strategy. Both hunters are formidable strategists, but their approaches differ drastically. The Predator's intelligence is disciplined by a strict code of honor. It analyzes its prey, studies their patterns, identifies the strongest, and seeks combat that offers a genuine challenge. Its strategy is methodical, almost scientific. The Yautja have a complex society, with clear hierarchies and specific rites of passage centered on hunting. A fascinating aspect of Predator psychology: it doesn't kill indiscriminately. It avoids defenseless, sick, or pregnant prey. This self-imposed moral code isn't just cultural, it's literally hardwired into its DNA after millions of years of social evolution. The Creeper, on the other hand, exhibits a more adaptive and opportunistic intelligence. Although it rarely speaks, it understands human language perfectly. Its hunting demonstrates high-level planning. It studies movement patterns, establishes territories, creates complex ambushes, and uses reverse psychology to manipulate victims. A disturbing detail: evidence suggests that the Creeper absorbs not only physical organs from its victims, but fragments of their memories and personalities. This would explain how it demonstrates specific knowledge about its victims and why it seems to play with them in personalized ways, exploiting individual fears. When these two predatory minds clash, we have a duel that is not only physical, but psychological. The calculating, honorable, and methodical Predator versus the adaptive, unpredictable, and psychologically manipulative Creeper. The question of immortality. Here we come to one of the most controversial aspects of this confrontation. Can either of them truly die? Predators possess extraordinary longevity. With proper nutrition and without dying in hunts, they can naturally live for centuries, with records of millennia-old individuals called elders. Their regeneration system is impressive. Injuries that would take weeks to heal in humans can be completely recovered in days. However, predators can definitely die. Catastrophic brain damage or simultaneous destruction of all hearts results in permanent death. Furthermore, when a predator faces inevitable defeat, it often activates its self-destruct device, a code of honor that prevents its technology from falling into enemy hands. The Creeper presents a different type of immortality. During its 23-day cycle, it demonstrates almost limitless regenerative capacity. It can reconstitute lost limbs, recover from severe internal damage, and even replace parts of its body with newly consumed organs. A crucial detail: indirect evidence suggests that the Creeper has a vital core located somewhere in its axial structure, possibly near the base of its spine. This primordial organ would be the source of its regeneration and the only truly irreplaceable component. This raises a fascinating question. What if the Predator, with its technologically enhanced vision and surgical precision, could identify and target this vital core, or if its self-destruct device could completely disintegrate the creeper, leaving nothing to regenerate? On the other hand, what if the creeper, during centuries of existence, developed immunity to energy weapons or learned to incorporate alien technology into its own regenerative capabilities? Confrontation analysis. Possible scenarios. When analyzing this epic confrontation, we need to consider different scenarios and decisive factors. Scenario 1. Confrontation in a terrestrial forest. In this environment, the predator would have an initial advantage thanks to its adaptive camouflage and mobility in the trees. Its thermal analyses would quickly identify the creeper, but here's the first problem. The creeper's metabolism during its active cycle would likely produce an unusual thermal signature, potentially confusing the predator's sensors. The creeper, in turn, would use its ability to detect fear to locate the predator. But here another question arises. Do predators feel fear like humans? Their biochemical patterns are completely different, potentially making the creeper blind to its alien opponent. Scenario 2. Confrontation in an abandoned urban environment. This scenario would favor the creeper, whose experience in ambushes within human structures is extensive. Its truck would function as a mobile base, while the predator would lose the advantage of the natural environment. However, the predator's advanced technology would allow for rapid structural analysis of the environment, identifying points of tactical advantage. Its vertical jumping ability, up to 7 or 8 meters, would give it significant mobility even in an urban setting. Scenario 3. Prolonged confrontation. This is perhaps the most fascinating scenario. Predators are known to study their prey for a long time before attacking. In the creeper's case, the predator could observe it for days, analyzing patterns, identifying weaknesses, and developing specific strategies. The creeper, however, operates under time pressure. Its 23 days of activity are precious, and each day without adequate nourishment potentially compromises its regenerative strength. This pressure could force it into riskier attacks. Decisive factor. The question of worthy prey. An element rarely considered in this confrontation. The predator's code of honor only allows it to hunt prey that offers a genuine challenge. The creeper, with its regenerative and adaptive capabilities, would be considered the ultimate trophy of prey, almost impossible to permanently put down. This perception would completely change the predator's approach. It wouldn't just hunt the creeper, it would obsessively study every aspect of its physiology, develop specific weapons, and potentially even call other predators to witness or participate in this historic hunt. The true outcome, after meticulously analyzing all variables, we arrive at a surprising conclusion. This confrontation would likely not result in a definitive victory for either side, at least not in the first encounter. The predator, with its technological arsenal, would likely cause catastrophic damage to the creeper. However, unless it identifies and completely destroys the vital core, the creeper would eventually regenerate. This regeneration, however, would require the consumption of specific organ sand. The predator, realizing this, could systematically eliminate potential food sources nearby. The creeper, in turn, would face difficulties causing permanent damage to the predator, who is protected by its advanced technology. Its best chance would be an ambush that damages the predator's equipment, forcing a more direct confrontation. The most likely scenario would be an inconclusive first battle, followed by an increasingly complex cat-and-mouse game, with each creature adapting strategies based on the knowledge gained about the opponent. The predator would develop specific weapons for the creeper, while the creeper would seek to consume organs that would give it specific advantages against the alien adversary. Interestingly, this confrontation could extend for decades or even centuries. The creeper, at the end of its 23 days, would enter hibernation, and the predator, recognizing unparalleled prey, could monitor its resting place, patiently waiting the next 23 years to continue the hunt. This raises a fascinating possibility. What if some of the ancient human myths about immortal warriors or eternal battles were, in fact, references to previous confrontations between these two creatures in prehistoric times? Broader implications. This hypothetical confrontation leads us to deeper questions about the nature of these beings. Why does the predator, a technologically advanced species capable of interstellar travel, maintain almost ritualistic hunting practices? And why does the creeper, with its apparent immortality and supernatural capabilities, limit itself to hunting humans in specific cycles? A fascinating theory suggests that both represent diametrically opposed evolutionary extremes. The predator is the apex of natural evolution, refined by technology and culture. The creeper, on the other hand, represents an evolutionary aberration, being whose existence violates the very laws of biology. Their confrontation, therefore, wouldn't just be a battle between individuals, but a clash between fundamental principles of existence: hunting as art versus predation as necessity, honor versus survival, technology versus corrupted biology. And this leads us to the final and most disturbing question: what if these beings were not just fictional creatures of our entertainment, but archetypal representations of real forces that shape our universe? The honorable predator who follows rules versus the immortal hunter who feeds on fear and violates all natural laws? Conclusion. Dear viewers, we've reached the end of this in-depth analysis of the confrontation between predator and creeper, two of the most lethal creatures ever conceived in pop culture. As we've seen, there's no simple answer to who would win this cosmic duel. The predator possesses superior technology, disciplined training, and a code of honor that guides its actions. The creeper has supernatural regeneration, extreme adaptability, and an existence that defies death itself. Ultimately, this confrontation transcends the simple question of who would win. It's a clash between fundamentally different philosophies of existence: hunting as art versus predation as necessity, honor versus survival, technology versus corrupted biology. And now, the question I leave for you. Considering everything we've analyzed, who do you think would prevail? The technologically advanced alien hunter or the seemingly immortal demonic entity? Let us know your opinion in the comments and share your own theories about this epic confrontation. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth content about the most fascinating and terrifying beings in pop culture. See you in the next video.